Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmic. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad that each and every one of you are here. All right, I'm going to be doing a collective message today. So, with that, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay, so before we get into the reading, I do want to give a quick shout out and just say thank you so much for the engagement on the channel. It really, really does help out. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. All the likes, shares, comments, subscribes, and the donations, they all really, really do help out the channel. So thank you so much. And thank you for being here. All right. Okie dokie. We've got the lovers. Just a second here. Swords. Okay. Okay. So what I'm picking up right now is that there's a strong relationship thread. So I'm going to follow that. That being said, hopefully it'll be obvious in the title. I really do my best to make it obvious in the title if it's a relationship reading solely or not. So it should be obvious to you at this point. As it sits right now, I'm going to follow the relationship thread. If other threads want to come in, I'll address them at that time. What I'm okay. So my throat. Hold on. Okay, so my throat chakra just kind of went a little bit and it's going again. So what I'm picking up is that this is a situation where communication needs to happen in some way. There's something that needs to be communicated or expressed in the situation. So that's going to be a little side note. What I'm picking up, especially with the way that the cards came out. So we've got lovers, and what came out on top of the lovers was the sun, which is awesome sauce energy. Beautiful, beautiful energy. What's under the sun, so to me, what is hidden basically is this Three of Swords. Three of Swords is heartbreak. It's very much it's heartbroken energy. That is just it's that uh, yeah. I mean, it's pretty intense. And so the fact that it was completely under this one, this is what is blocking you from stepping out into the sun in a love situation. Let me make sure there's no nudity. Hold on. Okay. In the lover situation. So, oh, okay, for some of you, what I'm picking up is that this is going to be a past situation, a past heartbreak that is blocking you from fully showing up in a connection you're already in. So it's one of these like if there was a heartbreak, and this is big. This is like a soul connection breakup or a very this was a connection where your heart was completely in it and then something happened. And so that was the situation that occurred. A breakup of some sort, or I just heard for some of you, it might have been somebody passing away. So if that's the case, my condolences. Um, what I'm picking up is that for some of you, it's going to depend. There's multiple threads of energy here. So for some of you who are in a relationship, there's some sort of a heart wall due to this heartbreak situation from the past that is preventing you from fully opening up your heart space in this relationship that you're currently in. For some of you, you are not in a relationship and you recently went through a breakup and something has happened where it's illuminated to you a situation in the past that is there's just an illumination about a relationship that you had in the past. It's something maybe you're coming into an awareness of a soul connection with somebody from the past. It's something like that. Um, and what else? For some of you, this situation from the past, I feel like part of the illumination might also be that that situation, that heartbreak has actually shaped and molded how you show up in relationships since that time. And so I feel like that might be part of the illumination as well as like, oh shit, that breakup actually affected me way more than I have ever consciously realized. And that's coming up into your awareness right now. Um, so take it as it resonates. What else is out here is we've got the 5 of Cups and the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups is needing to it's it's walking away in a very big way. It's changing. It's almost like that full like that redirect. Where it's like you're on this path and you've been doing things this way for so long, and then all of a sudden something happens and you're like, I put so much time and energy into this, and there's a part of me that is attached to that. This is also the energy of like time sunk bias, where you've spent so much time and energy into something that you don't want to give up on it or drop it in whatever way that is. And oftentimes it's by, completely releasing that thing that then you can shift into the 9 of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. And then that leads to the 10 of Cups, which is your fairy tale ending type of a thing. So for some of you, what could be happening right now and where it's difficult to get into this sun energy around a love situation is because it's asking you and requiring you to fully leave something behind. For some of you, this is going to be limiting beliefs. For some of you, this is going to be, maybe the way that you've showed up in relationships for years is being called to change. For some of you, maybe it's I just heard maybe you had a type, so to speak, for a long time. And this can be physical, but this can also be, um, the way that somebody shows up in a relationship. So I heard codependent. So maybe you've been used to being in relationships with somebody who's codependent, or maybe somebody who has these certain characteristics, and now you are releasing all of that, or you're being called to release all of that and maybe go, open yourself up to a connection with somebody who doesn't present that way, with somebody who, maybe did present a certain way, but then has healed, and shows up differently in relationships. Looks different or is a different nationality, or, take it as it resonates. But I am picking up that there's this just kind of a full leaving behind of a situation or a certain way of being in some way. With the 5 of Cups, this feel I'm gonna verify. Give me just a minute here. Reboot out. Okay, so with the 5 of Cups, what it says in the book, it's kind of this energy of feeling left out in the cold. So it says certain situations may have turned out differently than expected, and there are feelings of disappointment. You may be dwelling in the past, including feelings of self pity, regret, sadness, or loss. These problems are mostly emotional, and although there are things to mourn over, there are also things to look forward to in your future can bring joy. So that definitely could be part of what is keeping you from fully embracing this sun energy. So I had to pause it really quick because I was getting a phone call, so I was just verifying it wasn't, like, my daughter's school mainly. Um, with that, though, what I heard when I verified it and then was like, "Okay, no, that one, I that can wait." um, was for some of you, you are being asked to make a call or send a text or a social media message or an email or whatever. Um, there's some sort of, I feel like this is confirmation. So if you've been debating in like, isn't my highest good to reach out to this person? Isn't my highest good to contact this person? I feel like this is the confirmation that is telling you, yes, go ahead and do that. And there's going to be a level of healing and release that happens as well. Um, so that's a little side note. Um, but I mean, you've got the sun here, and the thing with the sun is it flips the entire, like you can have all the, you know, yuck cards in the deck, and then you've got, I mean, not, it's a perspective thing, but anyways, it can be a very heavy message. And then when you get the sun, especially where it's at right now, I feel like this is a potential for the situation. This is literally one of these cards that like illuminates and changes the energy of a lot of things around it. So there is a potential here for you to be in this sun energy, which is where it's just it's dancing in a field of wildflowers with your loved ones. Like just bliss. It's that very happy, blissful energy. It also it's got an element of divine masculine with it. I don't always pull that from this card, so that could definitely be confirmation for somebody. I just had to say that. We all have a balance of divine feminine and divine masculine within us. So another thing is, I know I've been talking about a relationship. For some of you, this could actually be the internal components. And so what could be happening too is you're getting into the space where you are really balancing that divine masculine and divine feminine energy within the self. So that could be part of what's happening as well. So that's just another little side note there. I'm gonna take a peek at the imagery and see if anything else wants to come through. Okay, this is an interesting one. So with this sun on here, it almost looks like so there's like these red dots. And what I'm picking up from that is those to me are symbolic of like the scars and the wounds that we get through some of these experiences. And the thing is it's part of what makes up this beautiful whole. And so I really feel like there is a potential with another person where they will see all of you, including the wounds, including the shadow, including all of that, and see you as a beautiful whole with all of that as well. And so that could be part of maybe what's been happening in previous relationships is maybe there's been an element of trying to hide certain aspects of the self. And I feel like with this person, with this potential here, with the lovers and the sun out here, this is the type of relationship where you are going to be able to see this other person fully and this other person will be able to see you fully. And so even if there's an attempt to hide it, it's not really going to work. So I do feel like this is a pretty high level soulmate connection. Um, yeah. So there is a little bit of mirroring as well. So I mean this could be a twin flame as well. I do want to acknowledge that. Um Ultimately I'm picking up really high level soulmate of some sort and that full embodiment of the divine masculine and divine feminine within the self. Okay. And then we've got the Six of Cups. And so this is a lot of water energy. So you could be a water sign. That could be resonant for you. Um, Mainly though, it's very much in the emotions. So this is a situation that is really bringing you into your emotional body right now. The 6 of Cups is very, nostalgic. This can be the energy when you meet somebody where you feel like you've known them for lifetimes. It can be that energy, and then it can also be, somebody that you may have known, like, in childhood or adolescence or something of that nature. You've just known them for a really long time in the physical. So it can be an either or type of a situation. Um, for some of you, I just heard this is gonna be reconciling with somebody from the past or communicating this heartbreak to somebody from the past. Even if it's not a situation where you're, like, trying to get back together with that person, it's just gonna be communicating with that person will be very cathartic and healing. Okay, so I wasn't sure if I was gonna take these, but I'm going to. So we've got the 10 of Swords. This is a very heavy energy as well. This is a betrayal energy. This is that, on the traditional Rider-Waite deck, it's, somebody laying on their stomach and there's 10 swords sticking up out of their back. And so it's just that it's very heavy betrayal energy. So there could be something that happened in this connection that felt like a betrayal. Maybe it was a perceived betrayal. I just heard that. So that definitely could be part of what is influencing this connection at this time. And then we've got strength. And so with the strength card, what I'm picking up is that it's really recommended for you to pull more into this strength energy and allow yourself to feel what you need to feel. And then also listen to your intuition. And if it's, in your highest good to communicate with this person that you experience this with, definitely do that. For some of you, you're going to be guided to actually reach out to that person and communicate this with them. Clear the air, so to speak. For some of you, you may just be being called to go into that heartbreak situation and allow yourself to feel confirmation. For some of you, you may not have truly felt all of those things, and so it got repressed and maybe trapped in the body. That happens as well. And so you could be being guided to go into the situation and to remember it, and then to actually allow yourself to feel what it is that was attempting to come up at that time so that you can fully release it. And then I do want to say for some of you, I just heard that it might be in your best interest to seek out somebody to do this process with professionally. So this can be even a life coach can help you through this, a spiritual coach, or a therapist, a psychologist, something of that nature. So take it as it resonates, but it might be in your highest good to move through this with somebody else. I am really picking up that this was one of those heartbreaks that changed your life in some way. So we go through these relationships, and then I am picking up romantic. So I'm just going to follow that thread. But even with friendships, this happens too. There are those situations where you're so close to somebody, or there's so much potential within that connection. And then when it ends or something happens, external interference, what have you, in that split, there are certain ones that happen over our life that literally change our life in a big way. And it can be how I already said earlier, how you show up in future relationships. It can be closing off a certain part of yourself that you showed that person. A lot of it is unconscious. So I do want to say that a lot of it is going to be stuff that you just, it kind of defense mechanisms come up and things like that. And then you just show up a little bit differently. You're just a little more guarded because you don't want to, it's a survival tactic. You don't want to go through that again. And so you change how you show up. And the thing is when those things happen and we change how we show up, it limits our ability to authentically show up and be fully 100% us in that moment or in that situation. And so I feel like that's ultimately why this is coming up right now. is to allow you to move through this in whatever way that is for you. It's going to be different for all of you. But the thing is by shifting th- through this, by leaving whatever it is behind, by allowing yourself to reconcile or have a conversation or to move through the feeling and healing of this situation or all of the above, it's really going to allow you to come out into this sun energy and truly be able to experience and feel joy, especially in partnership. And I feel like that's something that hasn't fully been there for you for some time. I feel like truly being in this energy with another person, in especially in a romantic situation, it hasn't felt just like that true bliss, that pure, truly being completely in love with somebody else, that kind of an energy. I feel like there has been this block that hasn't allowed you to fully step into the sun energy with another person in a romantic situation. And that's what's coming up now to be healed so that you can experience that and enjoy that and be in the energy of somebody else. And both of you are experiencing that, that bliss, that joy, that being fully in love with another person and having it being reciprocated in a healthy way, that kind of thing. And so ultimately that is the potential here for you. And so that's something to really focus on too as you're moving through this, because this is heavy. When you're trying to heal, when you're healing heartbreak, it's heavy work. And it sometimes it comes in waves. Sometimes you heal it a little bit and then it comes back up later and you're like, "Oh, I didn't really release it as much as I thought I did. I didn't feel it like I actually thought I did." And then it comes back up to be, moved through fully or even a little bit more so that you can really, change how you're showing up in certain situations. Okay. Well, all right. Well, with that, I don't feel like anything else wants to come through. I feel like I'm just going to keep talking in circles about it. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. I hope that this helps. If you're in this energy, I give you lots of love. Um, Continue doing the inner work and, listen to your intuition and your guidance and all of that. It will help navigating this as well. So I wish you all the best. If this does resonate, you can let me know in the comments below. You can even just do a little emoji, what have you. If you like this video or this reading, feel free to hit that like button. It does help out the channel, so thank you. And if you would like to see more from me, feel free to hit subscribe. It is free, and I will see you on the next message. Bye.